Hello, everyone. Something very, very tragic has happened, and I became aware of this on TikTok yesterday. And today, waking up to see if there's any more information on the topic, I went on Twitter, and to my complete shock and disgust, I'm seeing so many disgusting takes on this situation. And I think it just goes to show and it just proves that a lot of men really, really despise women. And I don't know if it's because of the lack of control that they have when it comes to women in modern day society, if that's just something that is just like completely unacceptable to them. It's something that they mentally cannot handle to not be in control of people. But whatever this conditioning or hardwiring or whatever is like causing some of these men, I mean, I believe it's mental illness, but whatever it is that's causing a lot of these men to have these disturbing takes. I hope one day this is resolved in the near future because this is getting extremely scary. So, for those of you who don't know, a woman by the name of Jennifer Sheffield was unalived by her husband, who unalived himself right after. They were found unalived in their home, and the evidence showed that this is what happened, right? Jennifer Sheffield, maybe a couple weeks prior, had posted a video talking about the fact that she is having an amicable divorce right now with her husband. And I'm going to play the video right here so that you guys can see it.
So, about to be a newly single mom, and I am in the middle of a divorce. My husband is being incredible though, like really and truly. Like we're working together. Everything's great. We're splitting everything down the middle. Everything is good. It is a very civil divorce with our daughter in mind, and I really appreciate that. However, I'm going to be a mom, single income right now, and he will be helping with her. He will be supporting her. So essentially, like, I'm really thankful that for that, and that I will not have to worry so much about supporting her. However, I will be on a very limited income, with buying a new house and paying a mortgage and all that stuff. So I've never done this before. I've never been on my own before. So if you have any tips, saving money, making money, anything like that, like, I would really appreciate it. Like, coffee at home. I take caffeine pills. I do my own hair, nails, everything. Like, I do all that. So yeah, if you just have any tips, like, I would really appreciate it, because, like, I'm a little scared right now.
So, you guys saw the video. She's clearly just talking about what she's going through and she's just asking for advice, as people do on TikTok. And she was looking for some advice on how to go about life as a newly single mother, tips on getting an affordable home, tips on shopping, spending less money, tips on saving, just actively trying to figure out how to have the best situation moving forward. Now, who would have ever imagined that this would have been the outcome after she has went out of her way to praise him, to praise the way that he's handling everything? Who would have imagined that this would have happened? Now, while I was watching the video, I saw it after the fact, and the comments were just so sad. So many people were shocked. The people who had seen it prior to what happened were like, oh my goodness, you seem so hopeful. You reminded me of myself. Some people were getting ready to type her a comment who had gone through the same situation to give her some advice. No matter how good to you your husband is, no matter what is going on, when you're leaving, don't post it on social media. I'm not gonna blame her at all because this is what we do in this day and age. If you want some advice, you could send it out into a form, you could send it out onto social media, and there will be so many people willing to help you. And I want you guys to understand that I am in no way saying that what happened here is her fault. But this situation really shows how some men really and truly hate women. It's actually so scary. If you're seeing this right now, please, if you're about to leave somewhere, just quietly leave. Don't post it on social media. I feel like a lot of men are very insecure and they don't have it in them to allow you to leave peacefully no matter what they say. They just don't allow it to happen. And there's something very sick and disgusting about that to me. some of the comments that I've been seeing on X, it's like people are justifying this. People are saying that divorce should become illegal again. And I am going to read some of the threads to you because I want you guys to see this. I want you to take it in and realize that these situations are not to be taken lightly and not to be seen as something that's just going to happen once in a blue moon. And these men are not supposed to be seen as just like outliers. There are people out there who agree with this, and maybe their time hasn't come to commit such a heinous crime yet. But the fact that your beliefs are aligning with this and you're finding ways to justify it is very scary, and it makes it seem like you may or may not do this in the future. Now, I did say quietly leave, don't post on social media, find support, and if you can, do not leave alone. So if you can get a loved one, a friend, a family member, somebody who could come meet you somewhere and then you could leave together, or someone to come to your home while he's gone to the store, while he's gone to work, and you leave. You leave with that person if it's possible. If not, of course, leave alone. Cut off all contact, change your number, change your email address, everything. Stay off social medias. And it's not to say that you can't be free. It's not to say that if you get hurt, it's your fault. It's not. These people are disgusting. It's not your fault if you make a mistake, post on social media, and you get hurt. That's not your fault. To be safe, though, don't do it. We're getting to the point where we cannot trust these people. We cannot trust anybody who makes excuses for women getting hurt, murdered. Do not speak to anyone who speaks to this person. Do not speak to anyone who has any attachment, any relationship with this person. Not his coworkers, not his friend, not his brother, not his sister, not his mom, not his aunt, not his grandma. No one, and go as far away as you possibly can. Thankfully, though, there are women in the comments of videos discussing the situation, basically saying, okay, I moved 22 hours away. This is how I did it. Like, women are really trying to help each other to come to terms with what they have to do if they're in a situation like this. Now, I don't know if this woman was aware of how dangerous he was, because she did say that the divorce was amicable. Maybe there were things that were happening and this is what drove her to the divorce, but maybe he was showing some changes in behavior and maybe even some acceptance for the divorce, and that's why she was feeling positive about it. Just a young woman who got married and then it wasn't serving her anymore and she tried to get a divorce. And now let's get into some of the things that we're seeing on Twitter. So this person named Mac Irwin said, sorry this happened, but she was too damn giddy about breaking up her family. Someone said she was right trying to break the family up. He literally killed her. She knew what was going on. Now, this person keeps responding. They will not let it go. This person says, she literally said in the video he was being good about the divorce. If he wasn't, there's zero chance she wouldn't sorry, this person can't, it's wouldn't have said anything about it. So what happened? This isn't the first time someone has lost it when they lose, and child ECT and divorce. Women have done it too. Okay, English man. And then, someone says he killed her. You think he was a model husband? What the fuck is wrong with you? And this person said, I think chicks get divorced for dumb reasons. It doesn't excuse anything he did. She wasn't crying about the divorce, she was giddy. What is wrong? I want people to tell me this. What is wrong with being happy to leave a shitty situation? So was she supposed to pretend like she wasn't happy to leave if she was sitting on there sobbing that she's getting a divorce but still went through with it because she's sad about it? Would that make you guys happier? No, you would still be talking the same shit. And stuff like this just really, really, I will reiterate, it reminds me of the fact that a lot of men actually despise women. They hate women. They hate women. They hate women. And I think a lot of it has to do with the fact that they can't control. Because to say I think chicks get divorced for dumb reasons, I honestly don't believe that just because you get married means that you should stay forever. Yes, there are vows and blah 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 blah, but people break vows all the time. Men in particular are known to cheat. One of their most famous ways of breaking vows is by cheating. If someone's unhappy, shouldn't they be able to leave a situation? Is that a dumb reason to leave a situation in the one life you have. This is gaslighting at its finest. Someone said people such as yourself should not be allowed to interact with normal society. And I completely agree with this. People who have opinions like this should not be interacting with society. Yes, talking about women breaking up families, and this is one of the consequences. It's called reality. This is sick. She was miserable in her situation with the guy, bro. Her being giddy doesn't really matter anyways, does it? It doesn't. Like, you're saying her attitude towards it, like, what are you saying? And then people will say it doesn't justify anything, but no one should be giddy about breaking up a divorce. Imagine being unhappy for so long and then maybe even being in fear that your partner won't agree to end things, right? Imagine being unhappy and then they finally agree and they're like, "You know what? You're right. We deserve better than this. Let's do it." And they seem to be okay with ending things amicably. Wouldn't you be happy? Like, is it a crime to be happy? I mean, you might be sad about the divorce, but people process things differently. This woman was a nurse and a mother. She had a lot going for herself. She was trying to get into med school and get promoted. Her first priority isn't being married to someone that she does not want to be with. And I don't understand why when men walk away, they don't receive the same just brutal feedback that women do. And if the roles were reversed and a man was leaving, I feel like a lot of these same people would be saying she was probably a controlling bitch and he had to get out of the situation. And look at how selfish she is. She killed him and then killed herself. What a bitch. They always find a way. And it that she was looking for attention and validation for breaking up her marriage. We've seen this before. She spent the entire video talking about herself and not talking about an abusive husband. Did she have to say he abused her to be okay? Like, someone even said, there was even a comment of someone saying, unless you were abused or cheated on, leaving is stupid. You guys are sick. Breaking up with the love of your life shouldn't be exciting. You women are despicable, and vice versa. Same goes for men that are excited to get rid of the mother of their children. People think that marriage is ownership. People think that when you get married or even sometimes when you start dating them, they think they own you now. And it's really sick. I understand that things have to change. Your mentality has to change a little bit once you're in a relationship. It's less selfish now. You're more collaborative. I understand that, but why do you think you own people and you own their emotions, you own their actions, you own everything when they get married to you and bear children with you? You don't. That is the reality, is that you don't. The reality isn't that if you leave there's consequences, or if you're excited for your future there's consequences, or even in the case of cheating, right? People will be like, "Oh, she probably cheated." There were a few comments that said she looks like a cheater, whatever the fuck that means. "Oh, she looks like a cheater. She probably cheated, blah 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 blah." Okay, does that justify this? Like, I'm confused. And I understand that people have mental health issues and they snap, but I feel like being like, "Oh, this man must have been really fucked up for him to have snapped like that," would have been a way better response than to be like, what did she do to make this happen to her? It's sick. This is hatred. This is hatred. And then someone also said something about she married a nice guy, then betrayed him. He always used to suppressing his feelings, snapped. I hope the daughter is okay. And you know what I love? I love when people are able to just like make up narratives whenever it's convenient for them, and then when it's not, they're like, "Oh, that wasn't said. Listen to the facts." But when it's convenient for them, they're able to make shit up. You guys ever notice that? The people who are able to make shit up when it's convenient for them? She married a nice guy, then betrayed him. Never once did she say he's a nice guy. She said he's being nice during the divorce. Someone acting some way doesn't make in one situation doesn't make them that forever. I could be a bitch to you right now. Does that make me a bitch forever? No. It doesn't. So calling him a nice guy is insane, first of all. She married a nice guy, then betrayed him. He always used to suppressing his feelings, snapped. Who said he's always used to suppressing his feelings? Who told you that? I hope the daughter is okay. Someone said nice guys don't murder. Keep pushing them and you'll see what happens. There's no solution that requires murder. And women are emotional? LMAO. I really think men are more emotional than women, and they always try to make it seem like it's logic versus emotional, but it's not. And a lot of the men who say that they are logical are the same ones who will ask you, what does that even mean? Or they'll say, I don't understand why you're so upset right now. That shows a lack of logic. It shows a lack of intelligence, emotional intelligence at that. You're stupid. You're slow. And then they keep saying they don't understand. You're just being emotional. You're crying for no reason. Like that shows that you're stupid and you're slow and you don't have the logical skills that you think you do. Someone said nice men don't go out and murder their wives over amicable divorces. You are insane to blame her. Nothing gives you the right to take someone else's life. This person said we didn't hear his side of the story. But you heard hers and you made up a narrative for him so that you could justify his actions. This is sick. Imagine me as a woman hear that a woman's husband got on TikTok and said, my wife, she agreed to the divorce and he seems relieved for whatever reason and he's ready to move on, same situation, same exact situation, but it's a man who made this video and then his a few days later his wife murders him and kills herself, leaves their kids orphans. So imagine I see that and then I try to create a narrative for the woman to make the husband look like he deserved to die. You're psychotic. Someone said his side of the story is that he's an abuser. Only an abuser murders someone. A good woman doesn't divorce her husband and take 50% of his shit. Well, I don't know why that's like a given, like why people think that's a given. People write up their papers the way that they want to. You can have a prenuptial agreement, you don't have to this doesn't have to be how things end in your divorce. Either way, if you have children with someone and you don't want to like give them the financial support so that they can help take care of your children, I feel like that's just you're just a shitty person. Like it's not about money, it's about well-being and it's about the fact that somebody committed their life to you, they bore your children, all of those things, and you should want to see them okay. If they don't have the financial means to support themselves, you should be more than willing to help support them. And I think it goes vice versa. Like this is not a gender thing to me either. But I do feel like a lot of times women make more sacrifices in relationships than men do. And maybe that's a bias of mine as a woman, but even still with that bias, I would never ever justify a woman murdering a man. I just don't understand why people think that this is funny. I don't know why people think this is justified. To me, it's kind of sick. Someone said, are men human beings or wild animals? That's a good question. The funny thing is, if he simply surrendered to the police after murdering his wife, lots of strange women would send him affectionate letters in prison. Those women would be strange, as he is strange for even murdering his wife. Like, I don't understand what the point of like any of the extra narratives and all the storytelling. I don't know. I think it's an ego thing, honestly, because it always turns into this thing where it's like we can't just like accept the facts and just talk about it like normally. Like we can't just be like, "Oh wow, this is really shitty. This is really fucked up. Why would he do something like that? That's crazy." It's like this like mental gymnastics to like try to like not get your ego bruised by the fact that this is the reality. You feel like it's generalizing men when a man does something horrible, so you have to justify, "Oh no, men always do things logically. He's not acting off of emotion. He probably was fucked up and thinking about, she's trying to take my kids, da 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 da." Like I just don't understand why the mental gymnastics. Like, why can't we just accept that someone did something shitty and it was shitty? And someone said a lot of y'all would kill a woman for doing y'all wrong, and it shows. And I honestly feel like when people justify stuff like that, it scares the shit out of me because I'm like, okay, I need to get away from you. This is the epitome of the abusive "look what you made me do" argument. Someone said divorce in a serious society should be on par with crimes like murder. Not saying it's totally justified, but it's understandable. Divorce should be on par with murder is fucking crazy. Someone said he more than likely wanted to keep the family together and she didn't. Men are more serious about marriage and relationships than women. People like you need to be hospitalized. Someone said, then why do men statistically cheat more than women? What you're really saying is men are more serious about what they feel is their property. You see what I mean? A lot of men who get into marriage, which is probably why I will not get married and I will not bear children. I'm not having your kids and I'm not getting married to you because the control gets to a whole other scale and I'm terrified of it. And maybe that's something that I need therapy for, but I truly don't trust men. They're more serious about what they feel is their property. She hit the nail on the head. Someone said men definitely don't cheat as much as women do. The same guy says this, and when they do, most of the time it's just sex, but women actually be having a whole relationship with the people they cheat with. Okay, the whole I just cheated for sex and you cheated for emotion. I don't know why people think this is like a fucking win. If you're cheating on someone just to get your dick wet because sex is so important to you, doing something physical is so important to you, I feel like that's way more selfish than somebody who like was feeling neglected emotionally and is like I feel like it's more selfish, but maybe that's just me. I think it's way more selfish to go hurt someone just because of a physical thing. Because I feel like that's the case a lot of the time. It's like the relationship lacks love, the relationship lacks all of that. And I think that's the reason why men or women emotionally cheat. So I feel like making that argument is wildly stupid and it just makes again, it just makes you look stupid. If women didn't get a payout for getting a divorce, they wouldn't be so quick to break the vows they made to their partner and God. Okay. Like, again, you don't have to have your papers written up in that way. This is not the case for everyone. And someone said women will literally leave everything they own and escape to women's shelters just to escape a terrible marriage. You do not know what you're talking about. Like, seriously, bro. Someone said most likely correct. She probably was cheating, scheming, going to take the kids and prevent him from seeing them, get more than half of the resources. It's the modern woman's playbook. Then, when the dude snaps, she's been threatening physically. It's all the man's fault. Boo fucking who. I don't know what point you're trying to make here because it can't be a good one. It's exhausting to read some of the things people say. Women think all men are built the same. Not all can endure the same psychological hardships. Society forces us to keep in the shadows, not condoning his actions, but she looked like a cheater. She looked like a cheater. Look how happy she is reporting about a divorce to TikTok, SMH. Someone asked, I wonder why he flipped out. Another man said it's because they weaponize the family court to destroy men financially and in custody. 9 times out of 10, men are not fighting for custody. I'm letting y'all know that right now. Statistically, you can go look it up right now. 9 times out of 10, men are not fighting for custody. So shut up with this shit. Just shut up. He probably found out about the boyfriend she's been cheating on him with. Even if, y'all, even if this woman pulled up into the driveway with her new man and they fucked right there in the driveway while he could see on the cameras, he still would have no right to kill anyone. And the same goes for if he did that to her. Of course, that shit would make anybody want to crash out, but you really think you can justify somebody murdering someone? Like, y'all really put life into your own hands and just do whatever the fuck you want? Sociopathic reasoning, because hopefully the people who are making these comments haven't like made it a reality yet. Maybe they're it's just existing in their mind right now, but they're not aware of how absolutely dangerous this type of thinking is. You know, so people are saying no fault divorce should still be illegal. This person, Marcel Thive, is God. Like, this person's God. People would rather have their arm or leg cut off than go through the trauma of having someone who committed to be with you for life ending it because they grew bored of you and wanted to seek better. How do you know why she's ending this with him? And even if do you really want to be with someone who grew bored of you and had to like make themselves learn to like you again? They don't like you. Like, this is really this is psychopathic. Why do you want to be with someone who don't like you, who's bored of you and wants to leave the relationship, wants to seek better? You you need to have some sort of security and some sort of balls to be like, "Okay, good riddance. You don't like me no more? Okay, let's figure out how we can do this without hurting the kids too much." And someone even said something about kids, it's easier to come to term with death than to come to term with divorce. And honestly, at that point, I don't really have nothing else to say because there's something actually really sick going on with society right now. And I'm sorry that this video is so long and it seems like I'm just kind of rambling and ranting, but this is something that I just cannot get behind and I could not go today without talking about this. I really would love to hear what you guys think about this in the comments. Let me know your thoughts on this. Leave me a thumbs up if you enjoyed this and subscribe, of course, if you feel like it. I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.
If you're seeing this right now, I hope you have a beautiful day. And I had this feeling this morning for some reason to tell you that it's gonna be okay. And that if you woke up this morning, which clearly you did, that you still have a purpose. You still have things to do. No matter what situation you're going through and no matter how hard it is, you've got to keep pushing. You still have a heartbeat. And that means that you've got to keep going. You have a purpose. And I hope you realize that today.